There's what are they calling it? What are they calling it in New York?
It's not a
containment zone.
It's not quarantine. It's a containment zone.
Containment zone in New York.
They're not quarantined. They're just contained.
And here's the thing: they're calling it a suburb, and that's technically true. The New Rochelle area, New York has called in the National Guard, and it's the what did they say it was the biggest cluster of cases in the United States?
That's scary because it's right next to the Bronx, which is right next to Manhattan. And if that's the biggest cluster and they just are finding out that it's there,
it's
in
the biggest city in the country.
I mean, I was talking about it in New York. I would not want to go to New York. I avoided going to New York. I was going to go this weekend. It's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's your birthday too.
No. I mean, it was, but I wasn't going to New York.
But for our birthday, we have zombies.
Not risking it.
They're not really zombies. Don't freak out, everybody.
Nope.
So, well, as let's first read about what actually happened, because no, it's not zombies. It's a drunk guy. Drunk people sometimes do this stuff, so don't freak out. But hop in the super chats if you want us to read some of your comments. And we got to. You know what, man? I'm gonna tell you something. Every single story today was coronavirus. It was nuts.
I know.
It's really annoying.
Everyone.
I was sitting here.
You getting bored with it?
It's frustrating. It's frustrating because there's other things in the world that get shut down because literally everything is an iteration of some coronavirus story.
True.
And I'm just like, dude, I can't do it because it's just nuts. And so I said, you know what, man? Normally we have like a bunch of different story ideas. We got a couple like things that are interesting we don't talk about, but it's just everything coronavirus because there's a lot. Like political rallies are being shut down. The Democratic debate, which I guess Joe Biden is requested to sit down at. I'm not kidding.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I can't stand for 2 hours.
No, he can't. But they're getting rid of the audience.
Wow.
It's crazy. So anyway, let's read about let's just get to it because I don't want to waste your guys' time. Let's read about this drunk man stripping down to his underpants in a subway station and biting anti-coronavirus officers after refusing to have his temperature taken. This is from the Daily Mail. They say a drunk Chinese man has been detained after stripping down to his underwear. Okay, read that. The intoxicated passenger, known by his surname Wang, shouted, "I'll strip naked for your checks," after he was stopped by the station's staff. Hey, no, that's not funny.
It
is
a
serious
funny.
medical issue.
He stripped naked. His name's Wang. I have to laugh.
Hey,
it's funny.
Bigots.
All right.
Bigots.
Oh, man, it's comedy.
Keep your bigotry out of here. Okay. Bigots. I said, "I will strip naked for your checks," after he was stopped by the station's staff members for a temperature test last Wednesday evening. "Look, aren't I pretty?" said the barely dressed Mr. Wang to the staff in the metro in Nanjing, Jiangsu province in eastern China, according to local press. If this is how the zombie apocalypse starts, I am down. Like, could you imagine 28 days later and it's like, you wake up from a coma and like the world's destroyed and there's like a guy with a beard and he's got like a shotgun and you're confused about what's happening and you're like, "Mister, what happened?" And he's like, "Get down, hide. 28 days ago, Wang got naked and bit some coronavirus." Wait, hold on.
Who? What?
Wang got naked. That's what happened? That is not scary. That's weird. CCTV footage shows the half-naked man pushing away the officers who are trying to put clothes back on Mr. Wang. Look at this. There's photos of it.
I wonder why he
got naked.
To strip down for it.
Dude, this photo looks like the guy cracked him over the back of the head,
doesn't it? It looks like he's a full-on punch. Just boom.
No, look. See this? It looks like he's holding like a sack of quarters. You know what I mean? And it's like, boom, over the back of the head. We're going to get in so much trouble for this segment on YouTube. They're going to be like, you are not for kids. Well, I mean, that's a good thing. The wobbly passenger even bit two anti-coronavirus workers as he was being tackled on the ground. This is literally how zombie movies start.
Now the anti-coronavirus workers are now zombies.
Well, so no, but like
go to sleep next to
in
their
the
families.
In the movie, there'll be someone sick, and then they'll be like, "He's just sick," and then he'll bite him and they'll go, "Oh, he bit me. What? Why would he do that?" And then a week later,
they go home to their family and everything seems fine. They're at the dinner table, and then all of a sudden,
no, their skin is like really pale and like they have rings under their eyes, and the wife's like,
"Are you okay?
You don't look so good." And he's like, and no, it's like Shaun of the Dead when the roommate, he's like, "Some guy bit me. I don't know." He's like, they're like, "Why would a mugger bet you?" He's like, "I didn't stop to ask him." Yeah, it's like they don't know why. The police told the press that Mr. Wang went to a friend's dinner party before he arrived at the subway station. He was already feeling dizzy as he left his friend's house.
He's drunk.
Alcohol.
But is it? Subway stations around China have set up checkpoints to take passengers' temperatures as a precaution against the coronavirus. China has recently seen a sharp drop in its new cases of the deadly disease. I don't buy it.
Because everyone's locked in their houses.
Exactly. They lock everybody up.
They stopped testing new people because everyone's locked in.
Okay. I think I don't know if they're not testing anybody anymore, but I've heard that they basically just told everyone you can't come out, stay home. There is a story, it's really crazy, that some doctors in the early stages started reporting this, and the police immediately stepped in and were like, shut up.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's basically the story. And then they go on to talk about how, like the coronavirus is spreading and stuff. So now that we've talked about the silliness of a guy who just was, look, let's be real. It's funny to hear a story about a crazy guy during this plague, whatever you want to call it, outbreak. I shouldn't say plague. It's a funny story when a guy like strips naked and then bites somebody. His name happens to be Wang, and it's like it falls into a bunch of stereotypes and stuff. Now we're gonna get in trouble. But in all seriousness, let's get to the serious bit. New York is like we're minutes away from full on quarantine.
Yeah, we are.
Because we are following the exact trajectory that Italy basically went through. First thing was a few isolated cases, and they were like, nah, it's no big deal. Just stay home. If you're sick, don't go to work. And then all of a sudden they were like, okay, we're going to be shutting down some events and gatherings. Like, people should stay home. Don't go out if you don't have to. Yeah. We're going to try and do a soft quarantine on this one. Then it went hard quarantine in the northern region. And they were like, okay, armed police guarding roads. No one can come near. And now the whole country's locked down. But apparently I'm still hearing that like flights are coming in and out. So I have no idea what that means. What I think it means is basically what Italy has done different from China is that you're technically free to go, but everything's closed. Businesses are all closed. Events are all canceled. So you can leave your house, but there's nothing anywhere.
Yeah, everything's closed.
But that's basically what they're doing now in New York. So this one area, I shouldn't say, it is New York State. New Rochelle is like 10 miles from New York City proper. They call it a suburb. And I'm like, yeah, it's the Wall Street Journal, so they understand why it is. But I think people might think that it means
it's not close to the city. No, it is. Dude. It is basically the Bronx, because the Bronx is here, New Rochelle is there, the Manhattan's here. It's like, what's the difference? It's like another. It's the Metro. It's another. Yeah, it's New York
still,
Metro. Yeah, it's still on the subway system.
That's why I think it's weird they're calling it the suburb, because like if you're in Chicago, there's where I grew up on the South Side. There's technically, if you cross the street, you're not in Chicago anymore, you're in a suburb.
I mean, Staten Island is all suburbs.
No, it's New York City.
It is all suburbs.
Right. I know.
You go to Staten Island, it's like it's more suburb land than
New Rochelle is.
Yeah, of course.
If you were in the southern tip, like if you were in the South Staten Island,
yeah,
you're probably further from the city than you would be if you were in New Rochelle.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
And but technically it's not true because Staten Island is the city.
Yeah, it's Staten Island's Jersey.
I know. You tell them that, they're gonna get mad at you.
That's okay. I said it.
So let's. There's a bunch.
Actually,
man.
I have a friend from Staten Island who told me that. So, for the record, a Staten Islandite told me that. I don't even know if that's how you say it, but.
All right.
Boom. Wasn't
me. You guys want to see the real freaky stuff though?
Oh boy.
No. I don't want to see it.
Check it out.
All right, show me.
First, Coachella's being postponed, man. Oh no.
No.
Instagram influencers are so upset.
It was like 1 million fake Instagram accounts let out a cry and were silenced all at once or whatever.
God.
No, but here's the actual scary story. So this is from more from the Daily Mail. Europe engulfed by coronavirus. Angela Merkel warns up to 58 million Germans, 60 to 70% of the population, will be infected as Spain sees infections triple in 2 days and Italy records 168 fatalities in 1 day. In 1 day.
Is that, I mean, how many deaths does the flu hit in 1 day in Italy? I'm just curious. I know there's an exponential growth happening here, and that's the scary part.
That's the problem. Well, so the first problem I have with the flu comparison is like, just because the flu is bad doesn't mean this isn't bad.
No, I know that.
But then people are like, do you overact for the flu? It's like, dude, people go out and get flu shots all the time.
Right.
We don't even have coronavirus flu shots. So if they're saying this is 34 times as deadly as the flu, traveling just as fast, okay. And then if they're like, but the flu killed more people, like, well, yeah, but we've been tracking the flu since October and this outbreak just started. And even if, this is just another flu, like it's going to be the same thing. Yeah, we have a whole international apparatus for dealing with flu.
Yeah, you're right.
Like we take it very seriously. You go to the store, and they're like, did you get your flu shot? Like they actively take measures to protect against flu. And they do tell people, like, if you have the flu, stay home, wash your hands.
Yeah, that's true.
It's flu season. Take things seriously. What I was reading one story and they said everything we're hearing right now in terms of the directions for the public is the exact same thing they say for flu outbreaks. So like wash your hands, limit contact, Somebody, I can't remember where I was reading this, but it was about like the CDC recommendations. They said older people should stock up. And then there was an article I was reading where they basically said this is just typical for any illness. And we need to be reacting much, much more like, I don't know, panicked in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah, there are actually some people arguing for panic. Not even kidding. There was I can't remember who wrote this, but I saw it on Twitter, and they said the argument for panicking in the coronavirus outbreak, and they said the worst case scenario for, if no one does anything, is that the medical system becomes completely strained.
Right.
There's a graphic. It was on the front page of Reddit, like number 1, and they show that if we limit exposure and reduce the infection rate, we'll probably still see the same amount of people infected, but over a longer period of time, which means the medical system can stabilize.
It flattens out the curve. I actually was looking at this earlier today. I sent it to my family because I was like, if we start limiting our exposure, we might actually stay under the dotted line, which is medical capacity.
Right.
I'd really like to stay under that dotted line.
And now let me give you all a sad wake up call. Check this out. The mortality rate is substantially higher than 3.4% for one reason. They're basing the mortality rate off of everyone. So a 25-year-old dude who gets this is going to get the sniffles.
Yeah.
Okay? He's going to cough, he's going to get a cold. And the mortality rate for, a 25-year-old is ridiculously low. The average age, I think, this is what I read for the death was like 81.
Yeah.
That's average?
The average age.
Wow.
But here's what happens.
Of deaths. But that's still, that means it's a lot older than that, too.
No, but then think about all of the young people who are being added to the mortality rate, reducing that percentage, making it seem like it's not that bad.
Right.
The real issue is that for high risk individuals, which is elderly people, people with like lung illnesses, heart illnesses, the mortality rate can be up to 8%.
Yeah, that's high.
Yep.
Oh.
So you hear these stories about, people who got sick and they ask like, well, did they have did they have pre-existing conditions? And it's like, one of them did, yes. And that's kind of the point. Like, we get it. Like, the flu can do this too. So I think the main issue here, especially when people are comparing it to the flu, it's like, I'm almost tired of saying it, but
I know
we have no immunity to this.
Right. It's
like
novel.
the flu, we do. And if the mortality rate is even 34 times higher in general, let alone substantially higher, what is that, 800 times, 800 times, I'm sorry, 80 times higher for elderly people. Yeah, we got a serious problem.
if it's just 3%, what's 3% of 58 million Germans? That's a lot of, I'm just looking at this article, and that's like, she's saying that 58 million Germans are going to have it. That's 70% of the population in Germany, and it's like, I've driven around Europe. It is so easy to go from country to country. There is no border guards.
It's like the States.
Yeah, exactly, like the
Yeah.
States. So if it hit Italy as hard as it did, it's definitely going to hit all over because people don't know. They're traveling around. It's like,
so we're in South Jersey, which is basically the Philly suburbs. We're apparently under a state of emergency.
Yep.
I guess that's what happened, and we've had 1 dead here in the state. CBS is now reporting 31 dead in the U.S. as states scramble to contain the virus, and this is the latest update. So let me just read some of this. They say U.S. officials are racing to implement new measures to stop the spread of coronavirus, which has killed at least 31 people and sickened nearly 1,000. More than 15 states have declared a state of emergency to help free up resources. 15. It was 9 states earlier.
yeah, wow.
They're man. So let me. This is the right one. Yeah, check this out. Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden both cancel rallies tonight in Cleveland, and CNN nixes live audience for a Sunday debate between 2 Democratic contenders. Man, there was a period about probably last week where I felt like things were calming down.
Yeah.
Like they were under control and we were going to chill, and it's like, all right, looks like everything's good. Now it seems like the apocalypse is staring us in the face. We got the guy biting people.
And the guy at CPAC that like they found had it, so now all these
start shaking everyone's hands.
Yeah, but
getting
so self-quarantining.
But even there's a Democrat now. Do you know who that was?
I forget his name.
But a Democrat is now self-quarantining.
And Matt
really?
Gaetz does not have it. They found, so he tested negative. He's staying in quarantine, like a smart boy. But I don't know who that Democrat was, but it's spreading through those ranks.
Yeah, everyone's like, there you go, both parties. Mm-hmm. So hopefully it doesn't get as bad as it did with Iran, when it's 10% of their parliament getting it.
And a bunch of them died.
But here's the thing about what Angela Merkel is saying. 60 to 70% of Germany's population. There was, last month, an expert, I believe, they testified before the Senate saying they think the worst case scenario for this is 60% global infection
population,
rate.
Yeah.
Which means at a mortality rate of 2%, we're talking about 90 to 90 some odd million people dead.
That's insane.
That's a lot.
That's ridiculous.
That's a lot.
And I think it was with a low estimate, it's like 45, and the high estimate is 90 million dead.
I mean, 45 million as a low is a lot.
Millions of people.
That's a lot.
But let's talk about the real tragedy here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. What are we supposed to do? We supposed to just sit around and eat pancakes? Like,
yes.
Can't go sporting events. Can't go to music shows.
Well, they were saying that once it gets hot outside, it can't survive. Is that not true?
I don't know. But you know what's really what really makes me angry? I was so excited to go to this Joe Biden rally, just like millions of other Americans were.
Sure you
Yeah,
were.
I sure was.
Take the van down by the river in Cleveland.
No, but there is one other thing that I find really, really interesting in all this, because we were talking about it earlier. If I were to ask you, who do you think is more likely to prep, a Democrat or Republican? Which would you pick?
My mind had an answer. I would have said Republicans.
Right, but it's not true.
Yeah, you'd be wrong.
But then I would think about it and be like, why does it matter? Like, there's different people in all different.
It's the weirdest thing. I think it's because Trump has been downplaying this, telling people it's going to,
like, no worries.
So Trump supporters trust him, and so they're like, I take his word for it. It's going to be fine. We're going to do our thing, and the Democrats are screaming the end is nigh, and like, you know what, man, this is the problem with polarized partisan politics. I don't know what Trump's answer needs to be, because you can't make panic.
I mean, everyone just needs to wash their hands. Come on, people. Wash your hands.
It's not that, though. It gets in your eyes.
Wash your eyeballs.
Wash your eyeballs, man. Get some of that bio-truth.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
No,
That's
but like there's a video that went viral from Australia, and they play like this dramatic orchestral music, and it shows a store opening, and everyone rushes full speed to the toilet paper and just starts stock
like Black Friday.
But here's the thing, man. Here's what like if there's a viral outbreak, you know what you shouldn't do?
Go crowd up with a bunch of other people.
Go crowd up with a bunch of other people.
Right.
And also, if you're concerned about a shortage of supplies, you know what you shouldn't do?
What?
Buy a ton of toilet paper.
I don't understand.
Have you considered maybe, I don't know, buying food
Why
that you can
paper?
eat?
Yeah, I don't understand the whole toilet paper craze. I really don't get it.
Dude, I don't know. And it's Australia too. Do they like
what?
Maybe they only eat Chipotle over there. You know?
I don't know.
So they just constantly.
So they blow out the bathroom.
Reminds me of what's the South Park joke? Reminds me of Parks and Rec, when Chris Pratt's like, I'm not gonna say the whole joke, but he's basically like, "Is this normal? Because it's kind of like wiping a marker." Like, oh my dude, Parks and Rec's funny. Chris Pratt's a funny guy, but that's what I think of. It was who was it? Jesse Kelly. He was like, these people think they're gonna wipe their butts through this outbreak. Like that's how they're gonna survive.
Yep, apparently. I had no idea.
We gotta just get bidets. Let's do it.
Well, that was another thing someone else tweeted.
They're great.
In other news,
I tried it once.
Yeah.
I miss it.
A bidet.
It was like 10 years ago.
No,
I still think about it.
What? But no. But for real though, like, can we actually think of a reason as to why this is? Like, why do people buy so much toilet paper?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I've been thinking about it for however long this has been going on.
Maybe it has something to do with people use toilet paper as tissues now also, just because it's like the same thing.
I guess. No. That doesn't explain why people have like 3 or 4 things of toilet paper chilling. What is that thing? You see that?
What?
I don't know. I'm just hoping it's not.
Is it a zombie?
No, I think it's a wasp.
Oh, okay, great. I'm gonna.
See, that's what happened.
We got a wasp in here?
No, yeah. Can you get rid of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Don't get stung, but I'm pretty sure that's a wasp.
All right.
So for those that are chilling right now, we got a wasp flying around. Maybe this will make it to the clip. We'll put it up on YouTube.
I don't see the wasp, but
I'm pretty sure that's a wasp.
I'm gonna see it.
Is it a wasp?
Kind of guy.
It's not.
Are you sure?
Oh, it's dead.
She killed it.
Well, that draws more wasps. So
I'm gonna close the door.
they sense death.
We had a nice breeze going. It's
frenzy.
been really, really nice. So in other
Actually,
news, we're more concerned about the wasp than the coronavirus. Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., sometimes an hour or two. And we do have a full live recorded version of the show that includes a lot of comments and smaller segments you probably don't see. If you want to check that out, you can watch live at 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, or become a member of this channel. And for $5 a month, you get full access to all of the recorded podcasts. Every day after the show, we make them available in the community section of this YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe and stick around for more segments and more shows Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all in the next show.